should have taken a video. And I had 3 letters for that, when I repeat. And then I realized I forgot to do something. So the first part of this will be to go back over the montage where he's supposed to be attacking. There's 2 things I want to do on Fab. There was a question about bringing in assets, so I want to do that. But I also want to go back over, well, I have to get a player character today, so I'll do that. So this is the stuff we're going to do today. It looks like a lot. Most of it's repetitive, where we're replacing the character's mesh, the weapon socket, the health for the player. We've done all of that. And so we're just going to tie it all together. And I feel like if we look at the course schedule, we're going to be in a place where you're just updating your level, right? Like 2 weeks of updating your level and then spring break. So we'll talk about what that looks like. Now, all of this enemy behavior stuff is due next week. And then the following week, the player behavior stuff is due. I can be really nice and make both of those due on the 12th. I don't have a problem with it. But if that's the case, there's going to be a caveat to it, which is basically to say we need to start seeing updates on your level. Okay, so we'll talk about that towards the end. Because when we return, I want to do something special. I don't think we need this enemy update. So the special thing is here. It was something I saw in a game that I really liked. And I was like, you know what, that might be kind of cool. So it gives me time just to make sure I have it working. But I think it'll also help with the gameplay. And I can tell you, if we do it, no one else on that campus will have it. That's how new it is. So let me think through it. I would love for y'all to stand out by having something different. And but it doesn't matter if the rest of your level is not on point, right? So let's get it started. I'm going to, like I said, go back over the enemy stuff. So let's hit play and see where we are. And I tried to unfix things yesterday as I fixed them. So he is all in my face. Oh, let's go to his character just in case. If you don't want to look for things down here, you can come over here in the outliner and hit edit blueprint for the enemy main, and that'll take you to his blueprint. One of the things that we can do is get rid of, and I just didn't think about it, get rid of his follow camera. We really don't need it. Okay, I'm hitting, oh, it doesn't want me to. Why do you not want me to? Because you're the third person character. That's why. Okay, because this is a child of the third person character, just forget that. It doesn't bother me. What I need to do is move him yard this way. All right, so let's test him running and coming to us. There's a few things we have to update. The good thing is last week he wouldn't attack. Remember that? I don't know if you recall that.
I finished all of them, so.
Okay. Okay. So let me attempt to show you and see if I have the fix. So I'm going to go back into the BP main. I should not have closed it. And I want to navigate to his anim class. So right here where it says use animation blueprint, I'm going to go to his blueprint. Okay, awesome. And I'm going to hit the folder, and this takes me to his animation blueprint. Now we're going to see this later, but this is about the notify. Let me go back into his blueprint, and what I'm looking for is the attack that we called. So this is the attack BP, and I had gone so far as to not it's BP montage. As to change, I changed his animation. I changed the name, and you know, maybe for giggles, I'll do it again. So I'm gonna go down to Rampage. I'm gonna look for biped underscore melee B and show you what I mean. Melee B, remember it has to be a montage. So I'm going to duplicate this montage, put OG in front of it so I know it's mine, move it to my folder. And before I do anything else, I want to double click and go inside. So this notify is what causes him, again, some of this is review, is what causes him to hit us at a certain time, right? So when we call this animation, the notify is what causes his spheres to draw. Now we'll have to go edit the spheres as well. There's some collision things we need to look at today, but I want to look at it because I don't know if y'all noticed, but I changed the animation. So this is where I want him to reach out and touch the player right there at the most extended position. All right. So again, on the notify on one, I'm going to right click, add notify, and montage notify. All right. So, and of course you can slide it just in case it looks like it. Maybe I want to be right there. So there is a default group here that says upper body, and it's a slot. One of the reasons why he wasn't doing some things last week is because I think we needed to add a default slot. So that's what I want to adjust right now. So I'm going to save that montage. Before I forget, I'm going to go back over here and put the montage in put the new montage into the enemy attack. And I'm going to compile and save. Again, this is an update from last week. Before I do anything else, let me see if he reaches out and tries to touch me. He does. And I just wonder if this is because, all right, let me talk to you about what I had to do. So when his body started collapsing, I had to literally, and this is FYI just in case, I had to go to Fab. I had to find him, and we'll end up back over here shortly. Where is he? Rampage. And what I did was I just added him back to my project. I didn't delete him, but when I hit add, it just overwrote the package. So whatever was wrong, which I cannot tell you what it was, it fixed it. I do, however, still want to come in here and show you this animation blueprint because we're going to have to do this for our character. So in the animation blueprint, there's this slot here. I'm in the anim graph, and this output pose is because they're doing a whole lot. All of this is blended in, and what we get is this output pose. But if I come here from the component to local and I pull out and I look up default slot, anything that I do in between on the notify is going to filter down into the final slot. So if your character does not work, if your character slides, this is probably the reason why. So I wanted to start out by showing you this first. Now, there's a few other places where we call some animations, or a few other places where we should call some animations. So at some point, when we not deal damage, but when we take damage, hold please. Enemy attack. Any damage. Okay, here on the any damage, we're gonna need to edit this, and you'll see I have these two over here. There's a death and a hit. So we'll need to go get those montages and add those here. And they're going to end up coming out of the truth. Okay, the death is going to go to truth. We're going to end up getting rid of this disable motion, but I want to finish going over a few other things. Okay, but there we go. Let me see. Deal damage. Everything should be good here. What's good is we've done a lot of work. So when we move over to the character, oh, this is what I wanted to cover. All right. Last week, we had a left sphere, right? But we have a left and a right. What we're going to want to do is put those in together. So we will probably end up coming back here to do that. Let's see, do I want to do this now? Give me 1 second. Yeah, let's do it now. All right, so the hard part for us is done. We know that when we hit the animation montage, we know that the left sphere collision is being drawn here. All right, so if we want to add the right, and I think last week I mentioned, oh, we're going to have to duplicate this. We do not have to duplicate it. What we do have to do is do this. We need to get the left, and then out of components, we also need to get the right. And then we need to work a little backwards. So we'll do for each loop. And we're testing the array with the 2 items. So for each loop, and we've seen this before. Again, we're working a little bit backwards. I'm going to move that here. This is the element. The array elements will now be the target, both of them. We need to connect this here. So for each loop now goes into sphere overlap. Are they overlapping anybody? It will be executed when we do damage, and then we need to make the array. So out of this array, we make the array. Again, we've seen this before, right? And because we have these 2 items, all we have to do is put, now because left was first, I'll move left up here. It'll be in array position 0, and we add a pin. And now we are in array position 1. And so now it should draw from both, but I really don't feel like I don't have a notification for the second one. So let's go look at that animation. Let me open it up. If I had one where the animation had a double attack, this is the way we would do it. I could do something. Boop. I just don't see a good spot here. So by the end of today, I may end up going and finding another animation, but at least you have the code. The character that I'm going to get for my main player character, her name is Tara, and she has a sword, a big old axe and a shield. So I'm going to actually find something that works with both of hers. All right. So I'm going to you know what? This is a great place to talk about the pawn sensing. Let's talk about the pawn sensing in the enemy controller. So we have this on cpawn. And the question that I had this morning was, well, what happens if the pawn can't see you but can hear you? So there's 2 things that we need to do. Since we're on cpawn, on pond sensing, I think we have to work backwards. We see that it can hear noises, right? And because of that, we can now use on hear noise and then tell it what to do. There are a few other things that we can do. I don't know that, I think it will change it'll change our code significantly because we're using AI Move to. But I might want to give it a shot. And I'm nervous that I'm gonna break it. So let me do a duplicate of this. And basically what I want to play with is I want to cast to the third person character. And the pawn is the object. I think I'm gonna need a little bit more space. And it's going to take us a second to set this up because we have to do something over in the third person as well. You could play a sound right here. I think I want to put it on the screen so you know where it goes, but I'm not going to connect it because it can get very irritating if it's playing the sound like every time it hears you, but this is where you would put it. And then after that, I think we just go right into the bool because we're calling the behavior tree. So not as much as I thought. Again, listen, again, somebody asked me this morning. I figured we had the perfect setup to play with it and see if this might be something that each one of you could use if you wanted to. So what I do want to do is look at the pond sensing and look at the hearing threshold. Yeah, it's pretty big. Now, in order to make this work, he needs to not be able to see me. So I need to get to my nav mesh and expand it. And I want him to, again, I don't know if it's going to work. I was just thinking through it before class, but I figured we'd test it out. I don't need him to see me. Let's put him all the way over here. Let's save. Okay, so in the third person character, third person, we'll go here. We need to add a thing. And the thing is, we need to add a noise emitter. So we'll go to components and pawn noise emitter is what we want to add. And what I feel like I want to do I can just do this on left mouse. Let's come here. All right. Again, let me say it one more again. This is a test left mouse button. If I click the left mouse button, I don't want to play a montage. I want to make a noise. I feel like this is where you could walk into a trigger volume, and that's what tells the player that you are, you're there. Make noise. We're in the pond. Loudness of 1. Noise instigator. And what I don't know is whether or not I would actually have to put the noise in here, or if it's just a thing, get actor location. So get actor location. So we're just gonna test it out, see what happens, compile, save. I feel like it needs to have noise, but all right, let me move out of the way. He's attacking something. I don't know why he was attacking. What is he attacking? Hello? What are you attacking? Wow, I think I broke it all the way. Let's unbreak. I will test that out, but not willing to break him. Event grab. If it was cast into the third person point, yeah, I'm not willing to do this. I'll have to look at it for that other class. I thought we had the perfect situation here, but we don't. Especially if we were casting. I don't know what he could possibly be doing. So now he has a problem. I'm like, I want a true undo. Delete. All right. Because I need him to work. So some of these numbers, all right. So there's something else we need to look at. I think he's back to his state where he's doing the right things. And what's on my brain is this behavior tree. Um, the wait is 2 seconds. So this is it 1 second? This is a place where maybe because it's from left to right, I may need to move it. I don't like him over there. He's like stick stupid. He's bringing back. And he wants to go back over there. What is he hitting? I don't get what he's trying to get to. Interesting. And all of that happened because I expanded the nav mesh. Yeah, he's seeing something. We're gonna unsee that. I don't know what he's seeing, but I'm gonna bring this back until I can figure that out because I don't know what he's seeing or what he's running to. Strange. All right. What's really good about this is I know he's going to hit me. I know it. So let's go set up the character stuff. All that extra special stuff that I'm doing, I'm going to stop. All right. So I'm going to stay in the enemy. Probably should make another folder, but I'm not. So we're going to basically set up the player health and we're going to draw it on the screen and then we're going to tie it to some variables. So we're going to right click. We're going to go to user interface, widget blueprint, and we're going to go to user widget and we'll call it WB underscore player health. If I can spell, y'all know I'm be struggling. All right, first, let me check chat. Everybody good? Okay. Give me a thumbs up. I see one person. Okay, thank you. All right, great. So, we've done this before again. I'm gonna get a canvas. And I'm gonna get a progress bar. And we're gonna rename the progress bar to player health bar. We will make sure that it is a variable. And we're gonna tweak the settings and the details. So I'm gonna place it over here. I could place it down at the bottom. Because we don't have the Kanban thing, we could place it here. We've got all of this stuff. So it might be okay to have it over here. So either top or bottom, you choose. I'm gonna anchor it to the bottom for the moment. And then the position, I'm gonna do 302. Let's take it down to a negative number. Does that? Yeah, that works. And then the size, I'm gonna do at 530. I need to slide it. Oh, I put 305. I'm gonna slide it over here. So, all right. And then let's see, alignment. I'm gonna do 0.5. Nope, we need to put that one back at 0, I think. Think so. Yeah, there we go. Let's see, what do we need to change? We'll come back to percentage and change the color to green. It says we're alive and healthy. And then let's put it at 0.8 so we can see. Okay. And then let's see, what else do we need to do? Compile and save. All right, so I need to jump to my third person character because we're going to be working and putting this on the third person character and monitoring the health. We need to create a variable. So in the third person character, we need to create, did it open? No. Yes. We need to create a variable and we'll call it health and it'll be of type float. Call it health and it'll be of type float. Let's see, what else do we need to do? We need to compile and save, and then we need to go back to the variable and we need to set it because right here it says it's 0, so we'll set it at 100. So we'll compile and save again. So now if we go back to the health bar, the widget, we can create a binding right here where you fill up, at the percentage. That's what this is. There's a binding here too, which means that you can change the colors as something happens. We're going to create a binding. Click the little, I don't know, snap together magnet thingy and create binding. And we are going to fill this in. So basically, we want to come out of here and cast to the third person character. Cast to the third person character. And then out of this, the object's going to be the get player character. Get player character, really? Get player char. Which player? The third person character player. And then we're going to, as the third person BP, we're gonna get this health. This was in the BP for the third person. So as it, we're going to get the health. And then we're gonna do the math, which is basically turning that into a percentage. So we'll do a divide. Not device, divide, DIV. There we go. We want the operator. We divide by 100. Don't forget that number. And then we're going to return that value. And I think I did a really bad job last week of updating the blueprints. So I'm going to spend some time going back and making sure that iCollege has everything you need. I know you had the videos, but sometimes it's just easier to look at the blueprints to make sure you got it. So compile and save files, save all. All right. So now in the third person, we want to show the widget. I feel like I want to get rid of that too, but I'm going to come on down here and work. So on event begin play, so right click on event. I always have a hard time with that. Oh, please. Begin, there it is. So begin play, zoom in here. We want to create the widget. Which widget do we want to create? Let's just type in player. It's the only one we have. We're going to, the only player is going to be get player controller. And then we're going to add the widget to the viewport. This is what we did the first time on the enemy when it was just sitting at, I think it's to viewport. Yeah, there it is. When it was just sitting in the center, and the return value is going to be the target. I think that's it. We'll know in a second. Hit play. Got it down at the bottom. So success, put a check in that box. All right. Questions there. We're moving right along. No questions? We're good? I see, like, I'm double checking. Because I don't want somebody to be like, yeah. All right, appreciate it. Okay. One more second. All right, so the next thing we want to do is to, we're going to do any damage. So the player can do damage. We'll do the code, then we'll go get the character, then we'll do the sphere stuff, and then we'll go from there, okay? So this is taking damage. All right, so we need a new variable. Come down here, variable. It'll be called max health. And it'll be of type float. All right, so what we need to do basically, we need to see what the health is, figure out if it's taking damage, and then set the health, and then we'll check the health, okay? So this is that default, any damage. We need to get what the health is right now. I'll move it up a little bit because we have to do the subtract here. So we'll do subtract. It's the operator, make sure you got the right one. So the subtract goes here. The damage from the enemy goes here. Don't ask me why I'm trying to make it pretty. I don't know. All right, and then we're gonna clamp it. So we'll do a clamp float. Clamp float. And basically what it says is that the max health, which I have not, did I set that? No, max health is going to be 100. That's the maximum we know the health can be. So we're going to say that the max health is the max. The min health is 0, but the current health is the value. Okay. So it can only go to 100. Then we're going to set the health. Open this up so you can see. We'll set it. So the return value is what it is. We'll set it. All right, so the next thing we need to do is to do exactly what we did over with the enemy. We need to check and see if it's less than 0. If it is, then we will do the ragdoll. All right, so let's see. We need a branch. And we need a condition. The condition is if that health is less than 0. So we need to get the health. Let me see if I can keep this clean. We'll go here because we know that that's the current health. If it's less than 0, the other way is if you just want to get the health. This is the way I usually do it and put it in there, but I figured this is the better way because it's the current. We just checked it and set it. If that's less than 0, then I think what we should do is let's print a string and see if it tells us what the current health is. And we can do this. Now I'll end up taking this out, but I just want to do a test and then we'll do ragdoll. So let's compile and save. And let's just make sure this is working. My window. Yep. Awesome. All right. Hello. I think I messed him up when I ran into that, when I changed that thing. And you see how it look, it did it. It did it. What in the world? Did y'all see my
So,
broke leg?
hmm?
I got 3 letters. That is crazy. And the fact that he's not doing it again, I may have to go back and look at his deal damage. At least look at the, and I want to run into these. I just want to update. Let's see. Did his leg break again? Yeah, it broke again. I don't know what that is. It's like he went. Let me do something. That's got me boggled. The only thing that I changed in the enemy was the animation, right? This OG animation. So I'm going to go back. I know I did 2 things. It's the melee B. I am so glad I told y'all about it, but I hate that it showed up. Melee B. and that has a notification in it. All right, so this will be the one that I use. Oh, I hate that, got it. So I'm gonna put this one back in there because it was working. And then the other thing I want to look at again is if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Let me see if me doing this is what broke it. Compile and save. Oh my goodness. All right, let's see what he does. Did he break again, dude? All right, let me check the pawn sensing. That is crazy. Let's go back here. All right, I redid all of this. The hearing doesn't matter. I didn't turn any of this off. Yeah, this is what I ran into yesterday, and I was like, what is happening? All right, I'm gonna keep going. I'd rather have everything coded and then go back and fix. This is crazy. All right. If this happens to you, I definitely want to know because I cannot tell you what it is. What we did see is that, let me do it again. We are taking, I just need him to do it again. All right, I gotta run into him. I don't know what's going on. I feel like I want to take him out. Yeah, we didn't do anything else in here yet. I mean, we did this, but that doesn't even matter because we see it working. So I'm just gonna run into his fist and make sure that we are, oh, I took him out, sorry. Make sure that we are able to take damage, which I know we can. Ugh. I just feel like I just started backwards. All right, let me finish the, hold on, let me double check that animation. As I saw it in there, but melee. Okay, y'all see how you should leave well enough alone. It's right there. So let me redo that. And I wonder if it's now because I took that default slot out. So I'm just trying to retrace my steps. Save it. Is he moving? Yeah. Let's see. I'll put it back. Yeah, he's moving. Okay, compile. Here we go. He is just not aware, is he? I do need to run into his fist though. Did he break again? No? Yes? Yar. I just have to stay here. There we go. All right. He's not so smart, is he? And my print string is not even printing. Y'all see that? So I could have an issue with the way I set up that print string. That could be telling me something. Let's go back here. So it might behoove me to do the get health here. And do it here. Because it should be printing on the screen. I see it working, but that string. All right, I'm just verifying. Y'all give me a second because it doesn't make sense to keep moving if this part doesn't want. There we go. And I'll have to figure out his animation because that's driving me nuts. And it's not consistently, even though he can see me. So there's something else I need to look at now, and that's the behavior tree. How is he behaving? Yay, games. And I wonder because earlier before class, I moved the weight to the right. I mean, to the left, I'm sorry. What I don't understand is why he's trying to run that way. And he broke. When I got close to him, he broke. All right, I have some thoughts, but I'm going to continue moving forward. All right. As I think through my thoughts. March Madness, what? Oh yeah, which part of, here's a third person. And make sure you have your two variables. I'm gonna disconnect this because I can't even see, it won't print the string, which is concerning. So again, I have the two variables, health and max health. Can you see that okay? I believe that I've got two steps in here. I want to wait and see if this fixes it, but let's get the rest of the stuff fixed. All right, I want to update the, are we good with the player character? The third person? Yes, no, maybe so. All right. So I was going to, let's do an increase health. I'm thinking through this crazy thing with this character's leg breaking. That's why I keep pausing. Because I have no answer. But here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna right click and do a custom event, and we're gonna call it increase health. All right, so in increase health, what we're basically trying to do is get a health pickup that will increase, y'all know how it is. You get a health increase, it increases your health. The way this works for us is we need to add an input, which is going to be a new health. You can call it whatever you want. We're going to give it an amount, and then we're going to have to call it. So right here with this selected, right here, I've got the opportunity to add an input. We'll just call it new health pickup, whatever you want to call it. And it will be of type float. And then let's see. I think we leave the value at 0 so that whatever we create as this, it'll do its thing. Okay, so basically, we're going to do this stuff again, but it will increase as opposed to decrease. So usually I copy and paste, but I don't want to do that. I just want to build it fresh. So we'll come out real quick. Nope, we'll go grab the health and we'll set it. We'll connect these two. And we will get the health. And we will do a little bit of math. Again, this time we're going to add. It's got to be the operator. So we'll do this. We'll do this. And the new health will go into here. Pull that down a little bit so you can see it. And then we'll again, and just pull that up so you can see everything. We're gonna get a branch. We didn't finish this branch out because oh boy's leg broke. But basically this is where you would do the, and I'll go ahead and do it, simulate physics. I'm back up here to the any damage if the health is less than 0, 0, or is that supposed to be equal to? Yes, let me change this operator. This is supposed to be less than or equal to. That makes sense. If it's less than or equal to 0, then we'll simulate physics and go ragdoll. Otherwise, we would, and I'll come to the chat in just 1 second. Otherwise, we would play a montage, right? Like a death animation. So we won't do that until we have the character that we want in here, which we'll do in just a minute. So, and then make sure you hit simulate. So that's your ragdoll. So the increased health, that's a custom event. Did you start here? So it's right click and custom event. Even though I typed it wrong, it's custom event. And then you name it increase health. And then you click it. And over here on the right, it says inputs. And you hit the plus sign and you add this input. And then sometimes when you, if you don't see it, compile and save. All right, so let's finish the increase health. I need a branch here. So hold down B, click left click. And then we're going to check and see, just like we did right here, we're going to check and see if it's greater than, probably needs to be greater than or equal to 100. I'm just going to do greater than. Then we don't need to get anything else. We don't need to add anything else. So I'm going to get the health. Again, it's the same check as we did here. Let's make sure we put the condition in. So if it is, forgot my number. If it is 100, then don't do anything. We're just going to set the health. And this will be the first time we set the health to, wrong one, to a number. So this is set the health. We're going to put the health at 100. So you just stay at 100. All right, compile and save. All right. So y'all know me, have my notes, double checking everything. So I think this is a good time to go over to Fab. I don't know if there's going to be like a free health icon or something like that, but I want to do 3 things. I want to look at assets and bring them in so you can see. It's really simple how to do. I want to look and see if there's a health asset for free because I'm cheap. And then I want to figure out which character. No, I figured it out. It's Tara. I want to bring her in so I can then replace the character. A few more steps that I know we will have to do is set up the pickup. We may have to edit some collisions, and then we'll have to replace the character and do the socket. So that kind of stuff is pretty simple. All right, did you get what you needed for Carissa? Did you get that for your increased health? And then, are you still getting an error? I'll be monitoring the chat. All right, so I'm just gonna hit FAP right here. And I think I'll work backwards. The first thing I want to look for is health and price, free. This could work. There was a little bottle over there. This could work. I think everybody knows that that would be health. So, all right. So this is an FBX. I think I like that. So I'm just going to add it to the project. Usually, if you're in Fab separately, you will have to add it to your library. I can add it to my library, but I'm also going to add it to the project. And we see it working down there. All right. The next thing I want to do is look for my level is kind of hard to account for. Oh, let me go to home. I want to make sure that y'all are aware of the free for the month stuff. All products. Let me see. I don't see it here and I don't feel like looking. So give me 1 second. So if you just go into the Fab in a separate browser, you can get the limited time free. Oh, this is new. Okay. So I'm going to add it to my cart. I'm going to go back and get the other ones. Add it to my cart. And I don't know what this is. I get everything. Add it to the cart. And then when you go to your cart, just verify it says everything is free and check out. It'll add it to your library. And this will be your library. Okay. So the stuff that I just got, if you go to your library and you scroll down, and y'all can see how much it's not crap, I can tell you that. It's a lot of good stuff. It's still loading. Let's see, stylized fantasy. Oh, I forgot. You have to refresh. You'll see it refreshing. So I just wanted to show you where it was. I went to the Epic Games launcher, and because I have this full screen, I can't see it. So now let me refresh. I'm trying to make sure my spelling is right. So once that refreshes, I'll come back. All right, so make sure you get that. So back in my project, let me do the Paragon and then I'll come back and do environmental stuff, okay? So I know that both of these are relevant. So Paragon, and I want, I gotta find her. Too bad it's not in alphabetical order. Paragon, because my brain is just running in 12 different ways. Where is she? Yar, yar, yar. That's Decker. I'm just skipping right over. I'm reading so fast. I'm not even reading. I'm just skipping. Oh, all right. So this is who I want to play with. I've never used her before, but I really liked her shield and I like this big weapon. And I think it'd be really good for us to play around with maybe two different inputs. when it comes to health damage. Again, I hadn't done it, but I thought it would be fun to play with. So I'm going to add her to the project. And while that's doing its thing, let me bring this back over. What am I looking for? So I don't see the characters I just downloaded, but that stuff will be in here. I can go back to the Fab library. You may not have finished, but I'm doing a lot, so let me just wait. But that's where it will show up. Probably shouldn't be doing this while I'm trying to upload a character. I'll come back. Let me be smart. All right, so while that's doing its thing down here, I am going to go see if there might be an environmental pack. Environment. I have no thoughts about what I could add, but let's say you wanted to add hmm, let's look at this fighting stage. Well, first of all, it's got to be free. So let's do that. All right. Okay. Apocalypse Playground is possible. It depends on what you want. Make sure you get something that's free. This is definitely not the time to be purchasing. I would wait until you're in portfolio if there's something you really, really want. I'm going to get this Apocalypse Playground. I am going to set the personal. I'm going to add it to my library. And now I will go over and view it in the launcher because it did not ask me if I wanted to add it to my project. And one reason why is the last update was 2025. We might need to go down here. One thing to verify is that it's good for 5.6. If you were in 5.7, you could still use it, but you might have some issues or errors. And here's the other problem. I don't like this. It's a complete project. Well, it's a complete project in here. Sometimes you'll see that something like this. I just saw something that I know. This city park environment, you can view it in your launcher, but this is a project. You do not, and it's so heavy, it's huge. So you want to be real careful about that. And usually they tell you how big it is, but this is huge. So you just have to, it might behoove me to look at this one, view and launcher. Let me see what it does and see what it says. Yeah, as soon as you see create project, you cannot add this to your project. It wants you to create the project. So not all assets are like that. I would just be very careful about that. But let's just say I want to get a rock. I don't know. Just trying to do it. I think y'all seen how to do that, right? You kind of just imported it in. I'll go with it. Granite rock. Please make sure you're looking at all of this because this is a model you have to import in. And so you would have to export it first. I would be careful about this download. Well, I'm downloading it. Where did it download to? Let's see, something just opened. So this is what just opened. This is a lot of work. So you would have to import the FBX and then apply the textures. I don't apply all of that stuff. So let me do a separate video on environmental stuff. I may have to be in a brand new level because my level's kind of set. I think my brain is like, stop, don't do that. So let's finish with this and I will do like a sci-fi level or something like that. And kind of go over it. And this is for anybody who needs it. If you don't need it, then you're gravy. So yeah, that part. Why'd you lower your head? Are you good or you just want the extra video? Okay. All right. I'm just double checking. All right. So, where are we? Let's work on the pickup and let's make sure that the character as she is can pick up and get, I gotta find the heart, can pick up the health. Okay. I'm just making sure it's here. All right. So going back, let's do this. Let's do the thing. All right, so basically we're going to do the exact same thing we did with the coin. Okay. We're going to right click, go to Blueprint class, and we'll do an actor class. We'll call it BP underscore health pickup. And we'll double click and go inside. And we will add a static mesh. Static mesh. We'll call it heart health. Heart. There we go. Maybe. All right. And then we'll come over here to static mesh and find the heart. Yay. And the heart is huge. Oh, I did that backwards. Sorry. Still looks big. I'll scale it in the world. All right. So then I think I do want it to rotate. Go ahead and set that up. Rotate movement. Let's see, what else do I need? I need some collision. Let's add a light. I don't think we did that to the other one. Did we add a point light? And intensity, maybe. Continuation radius. I don't know if this makes sense. Just want to give it a little glow. And then we need collision. So we'll just stick with sphere. There we go. Okay, so compile and save, double checking. Let's see. All right, let's do some code. We'll go to the event graph. And this is where on the collision, I'm going to right click and do add an event on event begin overlap. We want to cast to the third person character because that is who can pick it up. We want to make sure that the other actor is the object. And then because increase health is in the third person character, we can call it. So it's a function. The target is the third person. The health amount we'll just do as 10. Remember, that's the, not 100, that's the input that we created. and then we'll destroy the actor. So basically the same thing that we did. All right, so let me go back over it. And don't worry, I'll put up screenshots. All right, so when we overlap the collision, we're going to cast to the third person character and we'll call the event in the third person character that has the input of new health. We'll make sure that we add 10 and then we'll destroy the actor. I know that this character will at least hit us once. So let's go this way. Yeah, I don't know how it got turned around, but let's put the health out here, which means I have to go outside of the bounds. And I want to check it first and turn around. So the lighting is kind of crazy. It's probably too intense. It may not even be necessary. And I know that if I put it inside, I wish I could, I mean, I can make it opacity. Oh, look. Let's see if we can update that. Let's go into the material. Can I change the opacity? Base color. Mm. Opacity mask, blend mode, okay, I think this is the blend mode, translucent. Yeah. Let's see, save. I don't know how that's gonna look, but we'll try it. It looks better. I mean, whatever. It's just a small thing. The intensity is way too much. Oh, that's ugly. Y'all see that? The opacity in it. I'm not, I'm just gonna leave it. We'll come back. You'll see me edit it by the time we get back together, but um I think because we're seeing the mesh itself is just not pretty. But all right, so let's go get hit. Dude, you're wasting my hits. Why are you wasting them? I Yeah, I have to figure that out. Are you gonna hit me? Thank you. I keep forgetting my windows. That's one. And clearly I need to keep checking him. And what I'm looking at too is the fact that he broke again. I do not know what that is. And if you look at his health, where is his health bar? Y'all see that? So I may be doing some updates. And he's waiting on something. I feel like I need to, in the behavior tree, we may have to watch this. That is so interesting. What? Wow, it had to do with me getting close. Okay, did anybody see me acquire health? Oh, no, I did not acquire health. All right, let's put some health out here and let's see if I can get back to 100. Again, my brain is like, what is happening to this character? Um, so let's save all. And I'm glad y'all are seeing it. Because you just can't make this stuff up. And I feel like I need to check his pawn sensing. But I got enough. Yeah, there we go. There we go. All right, so success in the midst of collapsible bodies. Sorry. I'm trying to figure out why his body is collapsing. All right. So if you want to extend that, you can. You can add a sound on the end. I think we did that with the coin. I would add it right after the destroy health. Let me pause before I start working with this mesh and this character. I'm a little nervous, but we're gonna keep going. So everybody good so far?
Yes.
Okay. Anytime you hear a long pause like that, yes, I'm watching the chat and watching the thumbs up, but I'm still thinking. It's like, why is he collapsing? I have no answer for that.
Maybe he's being Looney Tunes.
He's being something. He's not doing what I need him to do. I mean, he kind of is, he kind of isn't. Okay. Crossing my fingers. All right. So let me look at iCollege and behavior tree. We're doing that. We do that. We do that. That. All right. So let's go into the third person character and let's change out this mesh. All right, so let's look at it. I do expect her body to collapse, and that's okay. So we're going to choose the mesh. We're going to look for Tara, T-R-A, and again, dragon, not that one. I really didn't even look at it. Oh no, am I having a crash? Oh, whew. Okay, here's our lady. She's all collapsed. And the way you fix that is you go to your animation blueprint and we'll look for the one for her. So Tara blueprint. Did she fix? Yeah. Okay. So now it's a matter, that's a huge weapon. Wow. Um, that was, let's see what this is. At least I can see her face. I don't even know how she's thriving in her uniform. Uh, decisions. All right. So here's our lady. We're gonna make sure that our lady is working. Yo, what is that? What is that? What is happening? My whole level, I feel like my whole life is breaking. What is that? All right. Where do we start? I don't think it has anything to do with that's in the rigging. Okay, here's what you're gonna figure out about Ola really quickly. I don't have time to fight. So if she doesn't work, I'm gonna go get somebody else. I don't have all day.
Could it be like a memory issue with your Wonder or something?
I don't know, but that's I can't even tell you what that is. That's a flag or something. Ooh, that's a heck of a hit. What is on her that's causing that? That's this. That's a rigging issue. I mean, I can deal with it. It does not bother me. I mean, it does bother me, I ain't gonna lie. Okay, this is the one we're going with because this is the one that's working. Ha, ha, ha. All right. So let me save because I don't know if this is Unreal. I don't know if it's my system. I don't know if it's because I have my door closed and my office is getting hot. I don't know what that is. All right. So just like the character, what we need to do now is go in and set up her sockets so that we can then do the collisions. Okay. So I am going to click the folder, double click and go inside, and then go to her rig. I didn't even see all of that. Let's see. That's huge. And I feel like instead of doing spheres, I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to set up the collision. Do I set it up in the center? Do I set it up right out here? Or do we do the whole thing? So that's what I'm looking at. And instead of putting it on the hand, I need to put it, I guess it's called an axe. Nope. Let me see what's on the hand. And shield. So I don't see anything on the hand, but I know there's got to be something. So let's scroll. There's the pinky, upper arm on the left. So clavicle. Are y'all accustomed to reading through all of this? Y'all understand the armature structure, right? So basically most of y'all have seen the rigging stuff. Okay, all right, good. Is the thumb, weapon right, weapon slide. I think I'm gonna go to weapon right, primary impact. That's the visual effect. Ah, that's where they're putting the effect. Okay, weapon slide. I think because they have everything else here, I'm just gonna go weapon right. And I'm gonna right click it at my socket. Weapon right socket. Am I even typing? No. Come on, OG. Oh, it just did the weapon right socket. I think that's okay. And I think I will move it. Because I know that they have the effect down here is probably what I need to do. And which means that instead of putting in a sphere collision around the whole thing, I would just pull it down and do it around this area. And probably do it here. I know they have effects right here, but I think I'm gonna do mine here. And if I'm not happy with it, I'll just come in and change it. But what I wanted to do, like I said, is not do sphere. I wanted y'all to see the cylinder stuff. So I'll do a cylinder right around this. All right, so that's fine. There's the shield handle. This is on the weapon. And keep in mind, it's on the weapon bone, not the hand bone. Shield handle. If I do it on the shield handle, it'll stay with the shield. And then I could do a huge oblong one. I think that's what I'll do. So I'll right click and add another socket. And shield handle is fine. Okay. So I'll save. Everybody good with what I just did? Let me pull it out just a little bit. Shield handle. Yeah, I'm gonna go with it. Worst come to worst, I'll just change it. All right, so let me check again. Are y'all good with what I just did?
So what was the damage? What was the part that was messing up the animation? Or
I have no idea. I
oh,
don't know if it was the outfit, but it looks like it's this. That's what it looks like on the other outfit. So, like I said, if it was gonna happen on the outfit that I chose, I was just gonna go find something else. Um, I don't know if it's an OCD thing, but I was like, I've got enough to think about with like the enemy being broken. I don't want to see something broken on her. So I would just go get another character that I used before, but that's just me. We found something, I found something that works. So I'm just gonna go with it. But I think it's this arm piece. And when you look at this piece, how in the Hades is she moving? Give me a break. This is a Gears of War type character, right? So, but I'm gonna go with it. So I'll leave this, I'll close this, I'll close. Oh, it could have been this. Because it looked like a cloth piece, right? I'm not sure. Um, but it's not doing it. So I'm not going to worry about it. All right. So, we got the sockets and then, all right. So we're going to add collision. Again, I'm going to do a cylindrical collision cylinder. Let me go to collision oh, it's capsule. Okay. So capsule collision, uh, let's do right capsule. I know what I mean. And then let's duplicate and we'll do left capsule. And then they're both up under the mesh. So I wanted to make sure they were up under the mesh before I did anything. All right, so right capsule is going to be parented to I think it's just the weapon socket. Yeah, weapon right. Okay. And the left capsule, how about I forgot? Just like quick. Shield, maybe. Yeah, shield handle. Okay, so now I need to edit. And I have to be very smart about how I edit. Um,
No.
all right, so let me add it to the shield. Yar. And I don't know. I haven't looked at her animation, so I don't know how much of this I need. All I know is when she hits something, she better be hitting it. Look at, and I might have to come back and adjust that. It depends on her animations. And I'm having such a hard time. And you can see I'm having a hard time editing because it just doesn't want to do it. Yeah, let me leave it for the moment. I'm not gonna fight with it. Might want to move it back a little bit. I just want to make sure that when she hits something and she hits it. So she yeah, that'll work for the moment. All right, saving everything. So let me see where we are. All right, now we need to allow her to deal damage. So in the event graph, so we've done all of this. We gotta, if we take damage, we gotta deal damage next. So let's be smart. And let me move this over. Let's look at our enemy. Let's do it this way. All right, so that's the enemy attack. Note to self, we cannot attack. We'll have to do it as an input. So we'll do that after we set up the code. So here is the deal damage. The reason why I want to set this up like this is because it's the same. And yes, I could copy and paste, but that doesn't always work like I mentioned earlier, especially into another class, but at least I have the code for it. So I'm going to come down here and what I'm going to start out with is the deal damage to get the rest of this stuff, and then I'll come back and do this stuff, right? I was just thinking of something else. We do need a variable called is attacking. So let's start there with the variables. Again, stay with me here. This is the enemy up top and the character on the bottom. So we need a is attacking. So we'll do variable is attacking, leave it as a Boolean. What else do we need? We need a hit range. So variable hit range. And that is a float. I am going to go ahead and say compile and save because I need that hit range to have a number. I'm just going to put it at 90 for the moment. And then we have health as a float, and we have the max health as a float. So I think we're good to build this out. All right, so again, let's do it. Because it's familiar, it's not new, I'm just gonna talk while I do it, okay? All right, so we'll do a custom event. And this one will be called deal damage. Wow. Okay. My mouse is acting up. All right, so zoom in, and so we will do the let's see, we should have capsule overlap actors. If we did sphere, we wouldn't see it because we did capsules in this one. So I just wanted to change it up just a little bit. All right, and then we'll get the world location. Get world loc. We'll do just the left. No, we actually need to do the right. The right is the weapon. So let's put that there. And again, I'm just doing this to set it up, and then I can start to make changes. So we'll do it on the right. And then let's see what else we need. We need the hit range. So the hit range is going to go right here in our radius. And then object type will be half height. Let's do this as 2. And then object type will be the make array. And we'll do the same pawn. Just move that over and pawn. And then we'll make sure we set this to actor. We'll leave the actor to ignore out. Right now, everything seems to be working on the enemy. All right, so then we need to do our debug draw. I'm going to save, compile and save. All right, so we'll debug, draw, debug capsule. Again, because did the capsule, the center will be the same as the world location. Double click, bring that up. Let's put it here. Bring that. We get the hit range again as the radius. The segments, we don't need segments, line color. Make it goldish. All right. Duration, let's do it for 3 seconds so we can make sure we can see it. Thickness, I don't know, I might make it 0.5. And then we'll do for each loop. And then we'll get all of the array items. That'll be more useful later when we add the additional code. Make sure y'all can see it. All right, and then we will call it. So apply damage. And the array element would be the damage. And then the base damage, let's make her stronger. 35. Event instigator be the get controller. And then let's see what else. Damage type will be the damage type. And then damage causer will be her. So it's herself. Reference to self. There's a few other things we could do out, but I want to make sure we have this. All right, so at this point, save all. Because again, even with it set up, we cannot apply damage yet. Let's see. All right, so this is where I'm going to close the enemy. I think it would look completely different. I'm so glad you asked that question because I have yet to look at any animations, right? But I want to finish with the code first, and then I can make decisions because we would have to put a notify on some of those. So we can see, we can also, I think, map it to inputs. Which we might do. So let's sorry, I'm trying to figure out which way I want to go. Let's look at the animations first before we do the inputs. So we have see her idle. Oh, we probably need to look at her hits too. Here's a hit. Look at her shield, it's rotated. I like that. I actually like this hit react front. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and make some notes because there'll be other places where I add these. Hit react front. Because remember I showed a list where we probably need to look at the depth too. So, and I haven't looked at attack yet. There's the jog. Um, da, da, da. Jump is default. Here's the primaries. Let's look at these. Primary melee, level start montage, primary melee. Well, let's say slow. Let's look at this. That's a heck of a hit. Slow with recovery. Okay. Oh, she's flying. This is melee speed. I think I want a forward melee, not like a backhand melee. I like that one. I might use C. Is there a D? Do I have another option? Oh, there's a D. I don't even know that that matters. What's the difference? I'm gonna go with primary melee D. Primary. Slow. Okay. All right. Let's see. What else do we need? I was looking for shield. What is the swing? Oh, hello. Wait. Y'all, we can have way too much fun. Hit. Boom. Oh, I think that's for me. Let's get rid of this primary. Ha. So basically, what we could end up doing is having like a heavy hit and a light hit. We'll just do one input for the moment, but we might name it. But right now it's going to be tied to the left mouse. We might have to be able to, we might be able, once we get it all working and make sure the enemy's working, that's when you start to finesse. And then you could do a right click. If the player was, yeah, that's what I'm looking for, the block. I think that would be like a middle click. Melee. I see a stun. I don't see a death. Let me start searching for stuff. Block. Oh, I'm in the wrong thing. Sorry. Hello? Oh, I'm here. Go away. Nope. Here it is. Shield pose. This is all sequences. Oh, that's wasted. Um, yeah. But basically it would be the same. Let's get these basics in, and then if I find something, we can always go back and edit. That's the death. I mean, such drama. Let me go back to Shield. Shalid. Really? Okay. All right, I just want to make sure I wasn't missing anything. It's almost like she doesn't even swing it. So I'm going to use that heavy swing that she did. Man, that makes me want to think about doing something else with, or using a different character, but that's okay. All right, so let's go set up these inputs so that we can at least attack. So the way we do that is we go down to the especially if his leg breaks, he can hang it up. So blueprint, let's see. Where do I need to go? Let me look up inputs. All the way up here, comment. Yeah. So these are your inputs. It's you know, basically how the character's picking stuff up. We know that, right? The E to interact. So we're going to right click and go to input action. And we'll do input action IA underscore attack heavy. I'm just going to do attack heavy. Because if I figure out a few things, then we might go back and do attack light. We're going to leave everything as is. I just want to come in here to save. And then we'll go to the IMC default. And we need to map it. I'm going to map it to the left button, left mouse button for the moment. So we'll add a mapping. We'll choose the one we just did, attack. And then we'll map it to the left mouse button. There we go. And that should be it. We shouldn't have to do any triggers or anything. So we'll save, and I'm going to save everything. And checking my notes, I think that is it. Yep. All right. So now let's work on the animation stuff. So I'm going to go back into the player character, the third person character. Let's get rid of this. Blueprint, third person character, and we need to map it. Let's open this up. So what we need to search is that IA attack heavy. So I'm going to zoom in, right click, IA underscore attack heavy. It is the input, the enhanced input of the enhanced action event, not the value. So it's the event. You know you're right if it's red. And then what we will do is add a branch. And we'll check. We'll do that is attacking here. Are we attacking? And then we'll do the not Boolean. And then that is our condition. And then we'll play the montage. The montage that we're going to play montages next time. Yeah. Let's make sure it's on our mesh. And the one that I'm going to play is the O swing. Oh, you know what? Let me go back. I'm trying to figure out how I want to do it. Was it O or Q? Let me do swing. Oh, that's Q. That will be my eyeballs. Okay, so I don't have a montage. That's why I came back here. So let me verify this is the one that is not making me happy at all. I'm going to turn it off because I'm not happy looking at it. So I'm going to right click and keep going because you'll know if I change characters. I'm going to go to create and create in a montage. Now this will be the thing that I move to my folder. Okay, so I know where it is. And I wonder if I'm still worried about the enemy, but that's okay. All right, so now I get to define one. Let's define the montage. Oh, I'm looking for something in the wrong place. This is what I was looking for in the wrong place. And then let me go back here. And so I'm going to let me open this up. Right here, the montage. This is the montage I want to use. So I'm just going to drag it. Now we know that I haven't put any notifies in. But let's finish this. This is the default. And then we can go back and add hits and damage, and death and all that other fun stuff, okay? So now we're gonna set his attacking. So we'll set it twice. This is what we did for the enemy as well. So on completed, and then this one, and then this one is checked. All right. Now we want to somehow deal damage. And this is when we call it on the notify begin. I haven't set up the notify, so we'll just go ahead and call deal damage. I don't think we need anything else on that. So I'll hit compile and save. So now I'll go into the montage. Hopefully I just don't get what's going on. All right, but I'm gonna set up the notify. I'm gonna pause it. Yar, that's crazy. And try to see past this craziness that's on the screen. I'm gonna end up editing this because the arm is too far. Okay, I can't work that way. I got 3 letters. Stop before it breaks. Yeah, it was way too far. Boom. The hit probably is gonna happen right here. I'm gonna put it right here on track 1. This is the first notify. And because it's still going, when I do the second one, it should hit it twice. I love that. I probably will end up editing that too. So a second notify. All right, so I'm going to save. And I'm going to check my notes. Because I like notes. Third person blueprint. Already did that. Did that. All right. Let's go see what happens. It doesn't play the animation. Oh! All right. Okay. I know what just happened. So I just fell through because I'm DED. Remember when we did that simulate physics? Do. Even though I gotta find it now, I need to go back in, and this is where it broke. This is where I would play like a hit animation, and then a death animation. So I'm gonna leave that open. Let me just make sure I don't fall back through the floor. Okay, So I'm drawing, right? And I'm only drawing once because she's not playing the animation. Let me see if this is where, if the fix is in the, I just clicked on the animation blueprint here. I'm gonna double click here and see where the fix is. That is something else. I'm gonna go to the anim graph. And this was what I was trying to show earlier. Let's see if that fixes it. Surely it's not going to fix this crazy clock thing that's going on. Boom. Okay. Oh, you. All right. Oh, how am I already dead? Yeah, he's not going to be. Let's see. I'm hurting myself. Did y'all see that? Yes, no, maybe so. All right. So let's see. Actor to ignore. It's a thing. Let's ignore. It has to be an array. Let me go get the enemy because he's not hurting himself. That's not fair. This is why you do the work first, and then all you have to do, this is make an array self. Okay. So here, actor to ignore, make array. That's just crazy. Uh, let's make sure I don't hurt myself again. Okay, notice that I don't see anything on his head. And I think we need to go and bind his health. Let's see, what's the best thing to do? I feel like I want to bind his health to his widget, but his widget was wigging out earlier. So let's go see. It looks great there. Let's go to the code. Deal damage. You're not gonna be that strong. How about that? All right. Oh, this is something I wanted to look at. The apply damage and the enemy attack. I think we got that down, except for his broken legs. Okay. So this is what I want to do for the character. We can at least get her going and let her DED. So file and save. Let's go do that on her. What was that on? That was on apply damage. Attack. Deal damage. Yeah. I feel like this shouldn't be called apply damage. I feel like it should be called take damage. Right? Um, give me a second. I want to do the I want to do, yeah, I think that's what we need to do is call it that. Let's do some cleanup. This is called player health. Let's clean up. Let's clean up. Because otherwise I'm just like, what am I doing? I don't know where to go. All right, so this is player take damage. Now I won't get confused, right? Because it says what I meant. And then this one is maybe this one is called Pick Up Health. I mean, this one, let's go down here. This is Attack. And then this one is Deal Damage. All right. So I will make sure y'all have all of these. Behooves me to pause and do that. All right, so we're gonna work in the player take damage. And that's where I want to add those two animations, the death to the top and the hit to the bottom. That's why I was looking at them. So we're going to this time. Ooh, so this I can get rid of. All right, this time we are going to be lazy. Maybe. Yes, we're going to be lazy. And we're going to grab the play montage. And on take damage, we'll come up here and we'll paste it twice. Not sure if you're aware, wherever you kind of lay your mouse, I'm not clicking on anything. I just got it rolled over this area. It'll paste it. So just FYI about on that. All right. So I don't think we need this. Y'all saw we went through the floor and hit it real hard. With that one, let me tighten this up a bit. All right, so let's do one at a time. I think I want to do the hit because he is hitting really well. So this play montage, if it's true, if this condition is true, if the health is less than or equal to 0, then up top we play the death. Otherwise, we play the hit. So I don't believe we need a montage on the hit. We'll know in a minute. And I wrote that down. Hit react is the hit. And it doesn't matter because I don't have the montage. So let's go make those montages. Let me pause while I'm doing that. Does anybody have any questions? Are y'all okay? I know you'll have the video, but I still want to make sure you're good. Hit, react, front. Okay. Yeah, it's just a lot. You just, as long as you don't get lost. So I'm going to, I found the one I want. I'm gonna right click and make it, create an anim montage. I'm gonna leave the name the way it is and move it to my folder so I don't have to go searching again. And then the other one I want to do is the death. And it's a sequence again. You have to right click and create anim montage. Leave the name, move it to my folder and move here. All right, so now in my folder, I have just what I need. And again, we'll do the hit first. I was so happy to see her do that swing, man. That was awesome. All right, hit react. I'm just gonna drag it and drop it. Play rate, maybe, I don't know, 0.5, or we can leave it at 1. Let's leave that there, and I'm gonna cross my fingers that I can see it happen. Yep. The camera clipping is a thing. And I am clicking and it is not doing it again. That's new. So let me look at I'm not sure why it's not registering it. I don't think it has to be a loop of anything. I may have to look into that one. That's new. All right, so we've got the hit. Let's go do, let me stay focused. Anything that's broken, I'll just fix it. So let's move these two here. It's still not in the square, but it's okay. So we'll put that in there, and this is where we'll do, again, if my health is not 0, then we'll play the hit animation. If it is, we'll play the death animation. And there's a few additional things that I need to show you how to do. I mean, if it's a death animation, don't we need to come back? So, I'll need to add that to our thing, the things to do. Here's the death montage. So we will compile, save. I'm gonna save all. All right, so let's die. How about that? Oh. I may have to stop the movement so I don't slide. And the camera flipping is a thing. And he's still tripping. Y'all like how, boom. Oh. Wait a minute. All right, so I got to make some notes because what I have to make sure of is if player health, and this is just a state machine, player health is at 0, then we need to stop all character movement. On the enemy and the player. Do y'all understand what I just said? Did y'all hear my state machine? If the player's health is at 0, then stop hitting me. Here's what's good. We saw it work. Y'all like my slow-mo, right? I just didn't like that he kept hitting me. So I'll have to update that. Let's go do the same thing on him. But in the same breath, I don't know what's wrong with him. So I don't think there's anything else on the player that I want to do right now. She did slide. Hold on. All right, so we're in the player character. Let's look at her again. Y'all see that sliding? We're ice skating, Captain. All right, so we need to fix that right quick. That is on the attack. It's playing multiple things and it doesn't know which one to prioritize. So on the attack, we are going to, here's the priority is on the animation that we're playing here, which is the attack, which means that as we get to the output, we have to do this first before we set whether or not we're attacking. It's getting confused. So the way we do this is to get the character movement. We're going to get it. And then we're going to tell it when to stop and start. So that's on a set active. All right, so if attacking is false, which is our default value, once you put a check mark in it, it's true. It needs to do something. So here it's false. Let's do 2 of these. So if it's false and if it's true, we need to this is false, then this needs to be new active. That means yes, we're attacking. So no, that means this is true. So this is right. and this is right. This is confusing. Be mindful of your check boxes. If this is true, then the is it active has to be false. If this is false, then it's active. If this is true, then false. If false, then true. Everybody got it? I feel like I need to type that out in the comment. Oh my gosh. Y'all see how I got frustrated? If she is attacking, which means she's in the animation, I can't spell, then set character movement to false because she's already in motion. Okay. Whew. Yeah, that can be a doozy and it's easy to get lost. So let's do this one. If she is attacking, wait. If she, this true, is attacking. No, I'm getting frustrated. Don't get confused. If new active, which is the animation, is true, then is attacking is false. And what I'm saying makes no sense, but this is the code. All right, I will update this before I post it because I needed to be clear for y'all because I'm sitting here like, what did I just say? Because it sounds like the opposite of what I said, right? So I'll update this and make sure, even though what that means it's complete. It's setting it as false. I'll update. Forget the video. I'll update. Only look at the blueprint when I post it. Okay. I feel like I want to delete all of that. All right. Holy fazzola. Okay. The key here was to stop her from sliding. So that's what I'm trying to test. So do you see how when I hit attack, she stops and then she goes? That's how we know it's working. There's no slide. There's no conflict. It gets all the way to the end of the animation and then it sets the is attack to whether or not she can do it again. Does everybody see that? Yes or no? Oh my.
Oh no.
Ah, and I didn't save. Hold on. Yar. All right, I had to go turn my fan up. Hopefully that's not too loud for you. My office is on fire. I think that's why it shut down. All right, let me see how much work we got to go back and do. That was on the third person. Wow. Ha 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 ha. All right. So the question now is, is that too loud for y'all? I'm sorry. Do y'all even hear it? Right.
I don't think so now.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm double checking everything. There was something that I saw, but I don't see an issue. Where I had done a line trace before, I don't see that we have that issue. What I would like to do is to go back and add the animations on the enemies, make sure he's not skating. I said that plural, individual. And then I might come back, what was driving me nuts is him looking in the rock when I was trying to do the did he hear me? So I'm gonna keep going with the positive, the things that are working. How about that? All right. Um, let's go into Rampage and let's look for a death animation. And the reason why I'm trying my best to finish this out is because the next few weeks are going to be implementing this and working on your levels, right? To make sure that your levels are good. And then before we go, I do want to look at the schedule. And if you think that we want to move the whatever's due on the 5th to the 12th, there's just cannot be any excuses, period, right? Because if I move it, it's the expectation that's going to be done. Let's talk about it shortly. I don't think we're going to be here much longer. So here's a death for him. They're all just full of drama. All right, so let's get the animation sequence and do the montage for him. Enemy main. And then let's look for a hit for him. Let's see. It's probably going to be hit front because I'm not hitting him in the back. All right. I think I like the right. Let's do that. Let's make a montage and move it to my folder. And then we're going to go do the exact same thing and make sure I'm going to have to investigate why he's breaking because it just doesn't make sense. But at least the code is done. All right, so I'm already set up here. We need to take this off and we'll do some other stuff. Event and advantage. All right, so let's play the montages here. Delete. And we're going to grab these two. Oh. Again, if his health is at, oh, I don't think this is smart. I think I need to do this. Yeah. If his health is at 0, then we play the death, which we will drag up here. See if I can frame this up. Nope, wrong one. Yara Ola. All right, so hit react. Did I move the death? Death montage, yeah, this has got to be it. All right, so up top will be the death, and then on the bottom will be his hit. His hit front react. You make sure that's working. He's in T-pose. Ew. I don't know if that's gonna be good or not. Y'all see, did it again. All right, because if he's in T-pose, that's not gonna work. So if it's false, if it's true, I'll save. And what I'm testing now is because a few times, and I don't know if that was because it's confused about the animations. Every time I clicked left button, it didn't do it. Yeah, I'm just staying. All right, so that's where we need to stop all character movement, right? So, because he got up and got one last hit. That's not nice. What was it? I should have deleted that out. Let's see that. It might have to be in front. I need him to stop the movement and then do the animation. We'll have to see. I like him, did y'all see what it did? It didn't go through the animation. So let me figure out and I'll clean this up if it works. Do y'all see what I'm doing? No, that didn't work either. I think it's in the behavior tree, but I don't. All right, let me figure out the order. Because we need the death to work. And this should have called it. Where you stop the movement. So I'll figure that out. See if there's anything else. Play rate. We got them to stop from skating. We have good animation now. We have good hit. All right, so I'm gonna make some notes. So, yeah, stop, die. And what I think I want to do, I saw this cool thing where once the player, why isn't he going down? Once the player goes down, he disintegrates. That could be cool. That's just the material. So I'm not saying we're gonna do a lot of things, but I know that him standing back up is not a thing for me. Stay your butt down. And why he's not, I've got to trace my code. So I'll make another video, post something up. I'll make sure I have all of this posted up. I'm pretty happy because as much as some things broke, most things didn't. And we've made it not only through the enemy, but also through the player. So let's look at the schedule together. Let me save. I need to leave this open so I can get y'all the code. All right, so this is where we are. We've got 2 weeks. So I would like for y'all to definitely start updating the level. I'll go ahead and get the video out. I'll do an empty level and get the video out, just about adding assets if you need to, like a whole package. Because you need to make sure that you've built the package and you've built the level and not just utilize the package, right? Because that's enough. So I will probably, are y'all okay with me moving this to the 12th? That means you have 2 different things though.
Yeah, I think so.
The only other thing is for me to merge these and put the points together. What do you think? Y'all better put your 2 cents in it. All right. What I'll have to do pretty quickly is get you the rubric because I don't need anybody saying, I didn't see that. All right, so we'll do the 12. We will also do enemies, and player. You understand it's one project with a whole lot of points. One project. I will also probably assess you on the level update, which means I need to see some updates in your levels, okay? And then I'll see what this will probably be moved. Because if we do something special, I'll move it here, which I plan on now doing something special. Maybe 2 things special. Everybody understand what I just said? Everybody in agreement? Do not
I think so.
procrastinate. Do not procrastinate. Because this is a lot of work. Do not procrastinate. Everybody got it? Time manage yourself so that you are good to go. Okay. I'm done. I am very happy with today. I'm gonna spend some time and let the video render and start getting the screenshots up for y'all. I see an error here. You know, what happened to my L? I will revisit Convi, but as much as I love the idea of giving some story context, you know, I'd rather just go ahead and keep moving forward and doing something special. So let me see if I have what I wanted to show y'all. As it relates to the special thingy thing. 1 second. And then I'm gonna let y'all go. New project. Yes, oh, yeah. Okay, I'll make a note. It's only one thing that we do in the animal graph, but I'll make sure I show it, okay? I hope my system doesn't crash. I'm opening another window. This is not the thing, but it is one of the things. Yeah, no problem. I think we call this effect after the enemy dies, but I've got to get it to stay on the ground. So I'll figure that out. It's going to be a checkbox or something pretty simple, but yeah. I'll also get the separate videos, the separate video. And give me until tomorrow. I've got another class today, and then the itty bitties have volleyball tonight, so I'm just on the go today. So yeah, environment, and that rubric's going to be real important. So I'll try to get that out by tomorrow as well. OMG. Okay, here's what I'll do. I'll post the video. It would have been cool to show you. However, with the crash, my system's just a no. So I'm gonna stop it. I'll show you the effect. It's a disintegrate effect. So nobody's doing disintegrate effects in our department right now. So I would love for y'all to have that. Just because it's new and nobody's doing it. So it'd be great for the new portfolio. Yeah, let me stop this. So I'm done. Any questions? We close this window. More questions? All right, again, don't procrastinate. I'll try to start sending reminders. Also, next Tuesday, if you want to make it a production day, you know, the only thing I can say is you've got dedicated time to work on this. I can be available. Y'all know me, I'm always sitting here if there's a question. But we don't have to meet. We can make it a production day. Are y'all good with that?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, thank you. So I will update this again and update